Hi students, we'll continue with the model paper 1 part 3 class 10th science subject. So it's the question related to the diagram of arrangement of apparatus showing the reaction of steam on metal. So what happens when metal reacts with steam? That is what you need to show in the form of a diagram, and you need to label the following parts. So that is metal sample and delivery tube. You have a test tube here. You have a metal sample here. It's cotton wool that has been here, and a cotton wool is made wet. And the steam that passes through the metal sample, it passes through the delivery tube, and here it goes through the top and to the inverted test tube, and the gas collects here. So you can see that this is the arrangement of the apparatus and the way you need to draw the diagram. So coming on to the next question, what are alloys? Name the alloy which has lead and tin as its constituent and write one of its uses. So homologous mixture of two or more metals. So when two or more metals combine together, they are known as alloys. So solder is an alloy of lead and tin, and it is used for soldering of electric wires. So joining of electric wires, electronics, air conditionings and fire sprinkler systems. So what is amphoteric oxides? So the oxides or metal oxides, they can react with both acids and bases, and they produce salts and water. They are known as amphoteric oxides. So we need to mention two chemical properties of the metals here. So metals from an alloy with other metals or non-metals. So the metals form an alloy. They can combine with other metals or non-metals. So some metals can react with air and also corrode. So when in contact with oxygen or air. So next question is, mention any two problems caused by construction of dams. So construction of dams causes certain problems, like they will almost destroy the flora and the fauna species, that is the plant and the animal species. The habitation of the species in that particular area will be harmed and it will be disturbed. So these are the two problems of construction of dams. So next question is, the tendrils of pea plant appear to move in a particular direction. This comes under the lesson control and coordination direction as they grow. How is this response called? So pea plant, they climb up to other plants and use in the form of fence by means of tendrils. Say they bind towards the other plants. They take the help of the other plants to grow. These tendrils are sensitive to touch, and when they come in contact with any other support, the part of tendril that is in contact with the object, it will start winding or making a circle of the object and thus will attach towards it. So plants respond to stimuli slowly by growing in a particular direction. Next question is related to the diagram of a longitudinal section of typical flower and label anther. So you need to draw the flower with respect to the longitudinal section, and you need to only mark the anther. Next, having two sets of genes in the germ cells is not possible. Why is that? Two sets of genes, not a pair, two sets of genes is not possible. So what happens during sexual reproduction is offspring cells or the organisms require they get the genetic information from their parents. So both the parents, during the fertilization, the male and the female gametes, they have haploid gametes. And what happens is, of the either parents, means each parent will give two gametes, that is haploid, that is 4. When they fuse the characters present in the genome, they pass on to the offsprings to form 2, that is diploid zygote. So there are 22 chromosome pairs that they are known as autosomes, and a pair of sex chromosomes. Sex chromosomes are also known as allosomes, that is XX or XY. So in case of sex cells, where diploid cells, here the number of chromosomes from the generations, that is one generation to another, will be doubled. That is 23 pairs of the first generation plus 46 pairs in the second generation, and this it gets added on to the next generation. So next question is related to what is sexual maturation and how does menstruation occur? What is the function of placenta during pregnancy? So it is a phase during which the reproductive organs will develop, and it is not a faster one, it is at a slower rate. During sexual maturation, what happens is changes occur. It prepares the body for sexual reproduction. Menstruation, next coming to menstruation, it occurs in female when the egg produced inside the cervix is not fertilized. When it is not fertilized, the egg does not fuse with the male gamete. The uterus lining will break and it causes bleeding, and it is known as menstruation. Next is the function of placenta. Placenta is an organ that develops in the uterus of a female during pregnancy. This structure provides oxygen and the necessary nutrients to the growing fetus or the baby, and also it removes the waste products from the baby's or the fetus blood. So next question is, how are the studies of anatomical structure helpful for tracing evolutionary relationships? So we can say that biologists have used different types or several types of information to trace back our ancestors or the evolution, how we have born and how what has been linked between the previous organisms or primitive organisms to the current organisms. So anatomy and embryology, it is commonly anatomical features, they are shared between the organism that will include one that is visible only during embryonic development, that is development of the new species or the new offspring, and it indicates that it is a shared evolutionary that is getting carried out from the previous generation or the ancestor to the next generation of species. So next question is, how would we determine that birds are closely related to reptiles? So we can say they are both related to each other because reptiles and birds both lay eggs that contains RBCs. Both the birds and reptiles breathe through the same process via lungs, and reptiles have circulatory system same like the birds, and it's 4-chambered heart. Hence anatomy of birds and reptiles are almost the same. Answer the following questions wherein a diagram of a longitudinal section of human brain you need to draw, and you need to mark the parts of hypothalamus and medulla. So medulla is present in the midbrain, that is near here, and medulla, it's nearing to the spinal cord, and hypothalamus, it's nearing the midbrain. So this is marked here, and you can see that it represents the central nervous system, and nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. What are the functions of fluids, blood and lymph in humans? What are the different waste materials that is added from the urine, that is to the urine from the blood? So let's understand blood. Blood is a fluid that is conducting tissue, and blood consists of a fluid medium. With this fluid medium or a liquid medium is known as plasma, in which the cells are suspended or cells are dispersed. So plasma can transport food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous wastes in the dissolved form. Next, coming to lymph, it is a fluid involved in transportation purpose. That is some amount of plasma. Lymph, that is lymph contains some amount of plasma, proteins and blood cells that gets escaped into the intercellular spaces in the tissues. These togetherly they form the lymph or the tissue fluid. Lymph is similar to blood plasma and colorless, and it contains very less amount of protein. Next, coming to nitrogenous waste like urea or uric acid, they are removed from the blood in the kidneys. From the kidneys it is excreted out. Next question is, how are waste materials excreted in plants? So plants excrete waste materials in many ways. They are main waste products are carbon dioxide, water, oxygen, in which water and gaseous waste products are released through stomata and lenticels. Many plants store waste in the form of resins and gums. Plants can also excrete some waste substances into the soil around them. So that's all about the model paper part 1. Hope you all understood the model paper solving part 1. Keep practicing.